Cheers everybody, welcome back to another beer review. Now we've got a beer which I saw yesterday in Sainsbury's and I thought, that's interesting. Very rare I see a supermarket beer that I think to myself, oh, I've got to give that a go. But we're off to a brewery which I haven't featured on this channel for, it seems like for ages. We're off to Siren. And I used to be a big fan of their Soundwave IPA. I remember trying it first time in the bottle, and it was cracking. It was brilliant. I thought it was really, really good. If I remember rightly, it had a hell of a load of sediment in that bottle, but it was fantastic. Then I did the can version on this channel. When it was available in Morrison's in 330s. And I got a little bit of stick for it because a lot of people thought, well, it wasn't as good as what I was portraying it to be. But I thought, yeah, it was as good as what I thought it was because it's sticking to its own principles. It's still a flagship beer for Siren Soundwave, and I enjoy it. Now I see this in Sainsbury's. This is a version of Soundwave with Nectaron. Now, Nectaron is a New Zealand hop, which it's a dual-purpose hop. It can be added in any additions within the brew process. I think this has been dry hopped into this. And we've got Siren Soundwave Nectaron, clocking at 5.6% ABV, so it's the same ABV as the original Soundwave. I like Soundwave IPA. I think it's a beer which I find it's a bit, what's the word? I think it's, I'm trying to think of the word. I'm not going to start this video again. Underappreciated. I think this beer is underappreciated. I think this beer goes under the radar with a lot of people. I just do. I think everyone goes about supermarket beers. They're gone about Gamma Ray and they go on about, Punk IPA and all this stuff. But hardly anybody mentions Soundwave from Siren. I think it's undervalued. I do. I just think this beer, for me, if you look at craft beer in the supermarkets in this country, is still as an important release as those, Gamma Rays from Beavertown and, of course, Punk IPA. I do think this was a big release. And I've always been a fan of it. So I'll read the back end because I'm waffling on, aren't I? A celebratory special edition of our flagship beer, IPA, Soundwave, one of the beers that started it all for us. Soundwave has always been about bold, hop-forward, resinous, tropical, piney flavours, and extra addition of Nectaron has juicy pineapple, passion fruit, and stone fruit notes. There you go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I am. There's something about Soundwave IPA which I really, really like, and other people don't. It smells cracking that. And I'm not just saying it. Nice big hit of dank juiciness with pineapple. Definitely pineapple there. Hint of lemon, but my word, that's a lot. That's quite a bit of pineapple and dank as well. Dank pineapple and juiciness because it's making my mouth water. So let's pour this out. There you go. I think with craft beer in general, I think people's perception, people's expectation of craft beer moves on over the years. And I think what people find was, a game-changing beer years ago is not as game-changing now. But, it's like anything. It's a point in time with beer for me. Where beer is concerned, every release has got its point in time. And without certain releases over the years, you will not get other beers. I think every release has a reaction to another release, if you know what I mean. So you had Brewdog coming out with their iconic punk IPA at the beginning of everything. Then the reaction to that was maybe Gamma Ray. Whether Gamma Ray might even be before Punk IPA, I don't know. It might be in the same time. Then you got other beers coming along, and for me, Soundwave is one of them pinnacle beers. Because Siren, let's face it, are a staple in a lot of supermarkets. Beer in a glass, because I'm waffling on. 540 in now, I haven't touched a drop of it. Yeah, slight haziness to this. Thinning head, let's get a whiff. Yeah, you get slight dankness, but you still get the pineapple for me. Definitely. So I'm going to go in. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, it does it. It does it. That does it. It does. It's just got nice little. It starts off gentle, then it builds up to a nice, slight piney, grassy finish at the end. Again. I've always said about. Well, I've always thought. I don't know if I said in previous reviews about the original Soundwave. The mouthfeel was not the greatest. It's slightly hard, the mouthfeel. But what you get is a slight build up of flavours for me. As you go in, you're taking the slight dankness up your nose. And it's a subtle dankness with a bit of pineapple. Then you get a slight hint of tropical. Then you get a nice steady grassy note at the end. This beer, I think, splits opinion for a lot of people. Some people think, yeah, there's not much to it. But for me, I think it has its place. It has pretty subtle flavours for some beers I've had before or in the past. You know, if you put it up against some beers I've had, I think myself, it doesn't, he hasn't got a leg to stand on. But for me, I think it's got nice, gentle flavours. Going again. Nice, gentle flavours. That dankness is just hanging around throughout. Towards the back end, grassy, slightly piney, not too bitter. It may be subtle flavours for some, but for me, I still think that's all right. I think that's still a not bad beer. It's got a sessionable feel to it for me. It's got this sessionable feel to it. I don't think that's bad at all. But I'll be interested to see what people think about it when I've had it. For me, I'll give it a thumbs up. I'll pick up another can of that. I might even do a comparison with that and the original Soundwave. That sounds interesting. Going again. It may have aged, but I still think that is a great tasting beer. Boys and girls, Siren, Soundwave Nectaron, tell me if you had it. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you think of the Soundwave IPA. If you love it or hate it, stick it in the comments. Cheers, everybody, and I'll see you on my next one. Bib bib.